Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome to your Friday video. If you haven't noticed already, these longer episodes go up every single weekday morning. So if you're not subscribed or following the playlist of your choice, feel free to do so. And then you can have it landing in your inbox of your YouTube or any other platform whenever you wish. So today I wanted to talk about some of the books that really moved me, changed me. I'm still thinking about them from 2025 and give my recommendations. Now, as I always say, I am not going to recommend a book that I've half read, that I'm paid to read. It's just not the case. These words have been digested in my own head, and I read a lot. This is a habit that was actually a resolution back in 2022 when I felt like my brain was disintegrating a little bit. I mean, mainly it was because my children didn't sleep for 7 years and I couldn't string a sentence together. And that moment where I could finally lie down and relax and go to sleep, I did that. I wasn't reading words. But now in 2025, 2026, I'm back and I'm reading a lot. I love paper copies. Hardbacks are a bit heavy and I can't maneuver them when I'm lying down, so I like paperbacks. And I also love listening. And if you're not familiar with this app, you're welcome, basically. This app is called the Libby app and it's completely free if you are a member of, I think it's just a UK library. Have a look. I'm sure there are various others in various other countries. You just need to be a member of your local library. And these are the two key bits of information. You need your account number, as in your library account number, and you need a PIN. If you haven't been given a PIN by your library, you need to go in. I would have a conversation with a real life person because the library is about being in person. It's not about online stuff. Go in, get your PIN, and then log in. And you can download for free 8 books at any one time and listen to them, read them. And it's brilliant. And I love it. And that is one of the reasons why I read so much last year, because I was listening. Every school run, every walk to the shops, I'm plugged in. That's just how I like to be. Anyway, let me tell you about some of my favorites. The first one was a book that I revisited called The Magic of Thinking Big. And this book is perfect actually for this kind of year. It's a real expander and it gets you thinking out of your sort of pedestrian way. I know I can get stuck in a bit of a rut and a routine, and I love routines because they ground me, they ground my family. They ground my brain. I like that sense of we always do this thing. However, in order to execute the ideas that I want to have and welcome those in, I need to switch it up a little bit. So if you haven't read that book, it's very straightforward. It feels like it plants little seeds. And at first you might pick something up and go, oh yeah, this is really good. And then some of them are sort of growers, not showers, or showers, not growers, growers, not showers. And they come and they evolve and you're like, oh, I now get it. And it lands later on. Another one I wanted to talk about was Playing Big by Tara Moore. I actually didn't read this last year. I read it in 2021, I think. And it's really interesting because there is a particular word that comes up a lot in that book. And I now live on a street that is mentioned in that book. And we were in the process of moving into this house during that book. This is a very, it shows the system. It shows how women have been taught to play nicely, to share, to hold back. It's a really great one for giving you that, almost like that ruffle sometimes where you have to go, right. It feels like a cold shower, like, okay, here we go, right. And I think sometimes that's needed because it can be the difference between you moving forward and stepping up and stepping into this next version of you, or just staying in that mindset of like, I don't know though, I don't know what to do. Atomic Habits, I know it's so popular, but honestly, it really simplifies habit setting. I believe after being a conscious habit setter, I mean, since I was early teens, I would say, so 30 years. Wow, 30 years. You got to make it simple. I know your ego is like, no, more. Otherwise you can't do it. You got to do all these things. I am ignoring my ego and actually doing the things that work. Because if I do that and I make those habits work, that's when I build the habit, the momentum, the muscle in order to welcome more capacity there. Another book that I revisited, and I reread this so often, is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. If you haven't read it and you want to work on your money mindset, please do so. It calls you out on all your small thinking. You might see a theme here, by the way. It gives you that like, come on, kid, come on. You're better than that. It's a real sort of, it feels like you're being coached and you're being activated, but it's very much with an arm around you. Like, I know it's been tough. I know it's been difficult. And I know you've tried things, but it's time. It's time to move forward. It feels very nourishing and activating at the same time. And by the end of it, you're like, all right, okay. No more of this, more of this. I read Nena Cherry's autobiography at the beginning of the year, and I ended up actually winning a ticket to go to her Spotify event. So I saw her exhibition and I saw an interview with, who was interviewing? Annie Mac and Nena Cherry and her daughter Mabel. And I went with my friend Tamu Thomas, and what a life that woman has led. It really, it coincided with her 60th birthday, the release of this book. And for me, it was a great reminder that life is long and it's full of twists and turns and chapters and seasons. And I loved the way that she talked about creativity and motherhood. I really needed that at that time, and how the two can coexist together, but they need to find a rhythm. They're not just going to kind of fall into place, and maybe the systems that you had previously to having a child, they're not necessarily going to work. So it's about, I guess it just stirred something for me of reminding myself that this is a great season to do great things. What else have I got for you? When You Are Ready, This Is How You Heal. This is by Brianna Weist, I think you say her surname. All of her books are incredible. Once again, they're very nurturing and nourishing and kindly. I've never been one of these people who just like, I remember a personal trainer saying to me when I wasn't feeling well, he's like, go out and be sick in the bin and then come back in. And he sort of shamed me for working out what my new body was doing. And this is not like that at all. It's full of really practical tools, and I really enjoyed them, practiced them, implemented them, and was very grateful for them. A couple more, The Compound Effect. I've got a longer video on this by Darren Hardy. You can grasp or guess the concept of the compound effect, but it's a great reminder, and it gives you clear pointers to consider in terms of your business and what you need to do to build that compound effect. The Universe Has Your Back has been, I would say it will be one of my top 10 books of my life so far. I recommend it so often. It's perfect when you need a bit of trust and a bit of faith, and you're not necessarily seeing the situation that you want yet. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I think it's my favorite Gabrielle Bernstein book. Another one, Building a Story Brand. Perfect if you are looking at personal branding this year. And finally, The Garden Within by Anita, Can't remember her surname, but I will link it down below. I want to keep it under 10 minutes, so check out the links below and do subscribe.